There we go. Let's give him a chance to concede.
You win.
Okay. Let's get that legend. Come on, guys. Hi everyone, Yacca here. First off, a shout out to Travian Jill for commenting, saying that the Plague Priest deck, he loved the deck, but it's difficult to play. Don't worry about it. It is not really all that amazing deck to climb with at the moment, but in tournaments, like I mentioned, it's pretty good. The deck that we are here to talk about today is AGGRO MAGE, and I've just been spending the last 2 hours winning straight with AGGRO MAGE and punching through to Legend, which you'll get to see in the gameplay section. But let's have a talk about the AGGRO MAGE deck and how you win, how you play, and how you mulligan. Let's talk about the deck. First off, I'll leave the deck code in the description like I always do. And this one is actually rather cheap, even though there's 4 legendaries in here. Egwin is from the core set, and so is Dalnos, so those you should have in your collection. As the law is in more than 50% of all decks at the moment, so it is quite a safe craft if you don't have it yet. And the only other legendary, which is kind of a challenge, is then Commander Shivara. Commander Shivara is actually set to rotate as the next set comes. We have 6 sets right now. This means that 3 sets will go out, and she is from Voyage to the Sunken City, which is one of the sets that will rotate. So that's the only concern that you should have, or maybe be careful about crafting her. You really want to be focused on trying to play the deck if you want to have this one in here. Drop me a comment if you don't have her. Maybe I can suggest a replacement for Commander Shivara. But if you have her, definitely a good inclusion in the deck. So how do you win? You are an aggro deck. So this means that you go face a lot. You have to sometimes consider doing trades, also in certain matchups. But the majority of the time, if you're not punished going face with your minions, you should do that. Because early on, you'll have some minions. And when your opponent hasn't developed any taunts or removed them, this is the initial damage that you want to push face. To make sure that all of this goes into the first part of the plan, which is getting your opponent as low as possible. Then around turn 5 and onwards, something like that, when your opponent has started to develop board and all this kind of stuff, you go into a burn game plan, which then means that you, of course, you use your minions as much as possible. You still fight for the board a little bit. Your opponent might be getting the control, but then you are, for instance, with the Arcane Worm, you get these Arcane Bolts. Might be able to just spot it there. The 1 mana spells that deals 2 damage, and on Mana Thirst 8, they go to 3 damage. So those should have been dropped over the course of the game. You have your Arc Splitters as well. You probably have drawn your Frozen Touches, maybe, and those once they're infused, you get to play them multiple times. So that's the burn strategy, and you can do that in conjunction with Egwin, or if Egwin dies and you get some of your other minions, then you get those +2 spell damage, and that actually sums up to a lot, which you'll also get to see in the gameplay. I would say this one, Frozen Touch, because I played that in a way, I got them, and I played that towards a control deck. You will even be able to burn like high health control decks with a lot of healing. You'll be able to burn them down if you use it properly. So that's the game plan. Early chip damage with minions. You go into a burn strategy once you hit like turn 5 to 8. Optimally, you go to 8, and then your Arcane Bolts generated out of your Arc Splitters and Arcane Worms will be able to facilitate the job to burn your opponent down. Then hopefully together with spell damage you'll be able to get there. Some of the mulligan regarding the deck is that generally you want to be keeping your 1-drops, preferably like Iron Deep Trog, Shivering Sorceress. Those are really important ones, but I wouldn't throw an Arcane Worm back if you do have it and you don't have any of the other ones. Then you want to have and the highest win rate card is definitely the Frostweaver Dungeoneer. That is so important to keep when you have that in the starting hand. And then subsequently focus on getting a curve. You wouldn't throw back an Amplified Snow Flurry. So Iron Deep Trog, Shivering Sorceress, Amplified Snow Flurry, and Frostweaver Dungeoneer. Those are the ones that you want to get in the mulligan. There are 2 exceptions though. It is a high win rate card nonetheless, but you wouldn't want to keep Deathborn in the mulligan, except for 2 matchups. That's when you're against other mages, and also when you're against paladins. Then they are quite high up in the mulligan win rate. But if you do not have your 1s and 2s, if you don't have anything like Deathborn, maybe 2 Cold Cases and a Nightcloak Sanctum, throw everything back in order to try and get your early stuff as well. Even though it is a high win rate card in the mulligan against Paladin and Mage. Okay, so that's the mulligan. Pretty straightforward. Some of the things that you can opt into saying that's a good combination. Your Nerubian Vizier gets you a little bit more burn spells maybe, but try and see if you can combo it with like a Cold Case, because there's no undeads in here, but you generate them out of the Cold Case. The Volatile Skeletons are undeads. You also have Dalnos, which is an undead as well. But then you have your Nightcloak Sanctums as well, Cold Case. Those are the ones generate the and out of the Deathborn you also get the Volatile Skeletons. Then you have an undead which is gone, which is dead, destroyed, and then the Vizier will give you the discount. It's not completely necessary. If you don't have anything, you don't want to go for the discount, but it's usually pretty easy to do. I don't think I mentioned Shivara. Shivara will also, so for instance, if you play your infused Frozen Touches, they will come back as infused Frozen Touches and give you even more reach towards finishing off the game. So Shivara is also pretty good to get over the course of the game. Not usually a pick that you want to keep in your mulligan. Try to be somewhat loose with trying to use the flurries. If you have specific minions that you need to hit because you know you're in a specific matchup, perfectly fine. But you want to use your flurries to conserve your board, so you can actually go face a little bit more. You don't have to be concerned about the trades. So maybe you get 2 turns of pushing face. If you use a flurry, then do that, definitely. I think that's enough said around the play strategy, how you want to push. You need to see some gameplay, and I'll bring you the game that brought me to Legend on the NA server.
Jaina versus the Lich King.
The past is dead.
You asked for it.
Usually, I'm a little bit faster on the board. I can opt to keep this because on 5, he might not expect this. But then I want a curve. Okay, let's do this. See how it works. Like a 2 to bridge it, like an Amplified Snow Flurry. But let's see, we have a couple of draws.
I see you've brought guests.
Okay. I've seen Frost Death Knights going to 40, but likely it's blood. And I've beaten a couple of those as well.
Me have that for you.
Celebration is the prelude to despair.
do we shoot? I actually think we just stack up on the arcane bolts. Oh, I remember it. They're usually not running Theotar anymore. Oh, pardon me. I'll actually just flurry here. I need to push a bit of damage now, because you could avoid using his face by using the hero power. This way I force him to use his face to clear the 3-2. And then I can do what? Now I kind of want to use one of them to clear that one. Man, it is actually a little bit awkward.
What to do? What to do?
Because I kind of wanted the draw as well. The way I see it, I need to be aggressive and go in. And I get a draw, but then I set up for a good Deathborn on the next turn.
Time runs out on me.
So I'm actually gonna use a couple of these as well. So he's gonna trade out the 1-4 with the Skull Pit, and the 1-2 is gonna be left behind. And then let's see what happens with the rest of the board.
For the Lich King.
Best case for me would be that he's not trading, because then I can do a massive setup. And go face, come on. Ah, oh well. Fair enough. And then this one on the next turn. It's actually being pushed already quite a bit. And we need to get through 2 of those. Oh, the Sundown. Okay. I was thinking the 5/6 with lifesteal, the taunt one that attacks a random minion. Shiver the Timbers. Okay, this is nice. Oh, another Frozen Touch. This is gonna be so much damage over a few turns. Let's see if he got something good. I hope he did not, but let's see. So this would be 6-12. We get to 8, so 15 over the course of a few turns, sitting in hand. Oh, pardon me. Sorry for that. We didn't even get the good cards. This is just status quo. It's fine. So this does set up an okay Deathborn, I guess. At least next turn the Frozen Touches are active again. So if he gets rid of those and he doesn't heal, Then I have lethal. And then we are legend. Fingers crossed. That's fine. And then that one. Go face. Is that enough? 3, 6. I don't have enough. I don't have enough mana. It's only 12. Yeah, exactly. I think we just set up another round here. That one and that one. So he's staring down lethal because he knows that I have Arcane Bolt and 2 Frozen Touches. That's 9 and a 2 and a hero power. So he needs to do something. Which he probably is able to do. Okay. So now I don't have lethal anymore. And that one as well. Okay. Alrighty.
Me tusks won't stop shattering.
Sure. I think we should freeze this guy. Kinda wanna draw maybe my Shivara on this. We'll see. Okay, Crooked Cook, that's fine. It's actually better for me. Oh, let's see, that's a lot of healing. Okay, here we go again. We're just going the aggro route until we draw something that we can use. Oh, this game has taken way too long. We were close. We were 1 mana off at one point.
Citadel stands strong.
Okay.
The more you struggle, the better.
But no, so it's full cost. Yeah, I don't care about him damaging me. We'll just go in. Let's set up. So he'll be able to clear some of that stuff off. All of it if he likes to. And that's gonna leave. Maybe he'll drop something. Maybe he has another gnome muncher. Okay. Are they expecting to set up threats or? Okay, that is discounted. For instance, draw Egwin. I'll do that before. Alright, let's get this one out there. Freeze him up. I just continue pushing damage because he does have a finite amount of resources, right? And this is gonna be another threatening 12 damage. Top of those 4. So he's gonna steal Astalor.
For bad manners.
Yeah, it's not gonna do me any good at all. He's then gonna trade, I presume. Okay. Like, really? Come on.
The wails of these caverns chill me.
No more spells, I didn't check. If he doesn't heal, it's lethal next turn. And even if he heals a little bit, then Egwin could still be lethal. I just feel like I haven't drawn any of the things that I usually need to win games, so this is really crazy. But he shouldn't have lethal, and if he just drops Astalor, then I'm fine with that, because then I win. Oh, pardon me. For 12 and 16, that's 28. Way off. Interesting start.
What little time.
Are we getting there? No vampiric blood stuff. He played 2, right? Ran into nothing. And we are legend. Boys. AGGRO MAGE got us there. That's awesome. NA, we're legend as well. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys.